In today's market, this car can sell for over $2 million. But back in 1971, almost nobody wanted it. So what changed? When the HEMI Cuda was released, it didn't become a hit. In fact, most people ignored it. The fuel crisis was coming, insurance costs were rising, and powerful cars were starting to feel risky. The HEMI engine was expensive, hard to control, and thirsty for fuel, so buyers walked away. Only a handful of people were brave enough to order one. And that mistake changed everything, because decades later, what nobody wanted became one of the rarest and most valuable American cars ever built. Even standing still, the HEMI Cuda looked aggressive. The front end was low, wide, and intimidating, almost like the car was staring back at you from the side. The body looked stretched and muscular, with wide rear quarters built to hold massive tires. There were no sharp lines, no modern angles, just thick metal, heavy proportions, and pure presence. This wasn't a car designed to be pretty. It was designed to look unstoppable. Sitting inside the HEMI Cuda felt very different from other cars of its time. The cabin was tight, simple, and focused. You sat low, with a long hood stretching out in front of you. The steering wheel felt heavy, and every control felt mechanical, not assisted, not softened. The gear shifter required effort. This car didn't help you drive. It demanded that you knew how. Under the hood was the reason everything changed. The 426 HEMI V8 was never designed for comfort. It was a race engine forced into a street car with hemispherical combustion chambers, huge valves, and massive airflow. This engine produced over 425 horsepower. Torque numbers were even more frightening, well over 450 pound-feet. Power went straight to the rear wheels through a heavy-duty 4-speed manual gearbox. No traction control, no electronic limits, just raw power waiting for a mistake. The HEMI Cuda was not a small car. It was wide, heavy, and built with thick steel. The front carried a massive engine, while the rear had to deal with brutal torque. Wide rear tires were essential, not for comfort, but for survival. The suspension was stiff, simple, and unforgiving. On rough roads, the car demanded respect. Push it too hard, and it would remind you who was really in control. Here's the truth. This car wasn't rare by accident. Only a handful were ever built with the HEMI engine. Most buyers were afraid of it. Too powerful, too wild, too expensive. Today, that fear is the reason it's priceless. Original HEMI Cudas are no longer cars. They are collectibles, rolling history, locked inside private garages. Look at today's muscle cars. More screens, more tech, more speed. But the attitude? That came from here. This car didn't follow trends. It created fear. And that fear turned into respect. Some cars age, some cars disappear. But legends, they never stop inspiring the future.